Hello, welcome to the Six Figure Influencer Podcast. I'm so happy you are here. I made a post on Instagram today that inspired me I just wanted to talk about it further. And the point of this post, or like the title of it, was a graphic, and the graphic said, "Make money or excuses." And I've received quite a response from it so far. A lot of people who are saying like, wow, I really needed to hear that kind of thing. And I just thought it'd be fun to do an episode to go a little bit deeper into that because the caption was kind of short. So essentially, the point of this post and the point of this podcast is just to bring awareness to the fact that you as a human are going to have goals, visions, dreams, a life that you want to create, things that you want to accomplish, relationships that you want to cultivate and have, a lifestyle that you want to live. Whatever the thing is, you're going to have them. And that's an amazing thing. And I am one of those people, call me crazy. I'm one of those people, I truly believe that if there is something that you desire to do, be, or have, there is a reason why. I truly believe that, I'm religious, and I believe that, well, I'm not going to get into my beliefs, but I'm religious and spiritual. And what I believe is I don't believe God would put something on our heart that's a pure desire, like something that we're truly, truly passionate about, if we also did not have the ability to bring it to physical reality. I believe this wholeheartedly. Now, does that mean that it's a done deal? That just because you want it, does that mean that it's absolutely going to happen? Heck no, of course not. We all have free will. I think like part of the reason why we're here is to overcome obstacles and the human experience, to get through our mind funk, to overcome those things, to create the things that we are here to create, which in part are our desires and our passions, okay? But at the same time, what we all need to realize is between you and that future reality that you dream of creating, whatever that looks like, and it's going to look different for everybody, which is more proof to me that it's divine, because not everybody wants to grow the business that I want to grow. Not everybody wants to have the family that somebody else wants to have, or whatever, right? We all have wildly different things that we want out of life. And I think that that's all by design. But between us and that version of us that actually created the thing are a whole lot of excuses. A whole lot. All of which are true, or at least most of them, right? There are going to be plenty of reasons that you can lean on that will hold you up as to why it's not the right time, or you're not the right person, or insert whatever thing you tell yourself to sleep at night. Okay, so here are some common ones that I hear a lot with conversations that I have behind the scenes. And a lot of these I've 100% used myself. Number one, time. We've all used that. Money or lack thereof, debt, our partner, our children, education or lack thereof, some sort of inner or outer insecurity, beliefs that we have, fear. These are just like some of the the more common ones that come up a lot for, again, for me, for a lot of us. Okay, just to name a few. But here's the thing. They're always going to be there. Always. And I think where a lot of people mess up is they get excited about something, or they allow themselves to explore the possibility of whatever the thing is that they want to create. Again, it could be starting a business. It could be getting a certification. It could be moving. It could be leaving a job, leaving a partner, whatever, hiring the mentor. They think about it. They're like, wow, initially they have that gut instinct of like, yes, that's it. That visceral hell yes about the thing. And then very quickly after that comes, but I don't have the time. And the money's really not that great. And the debt. Like, I really should get rid of the debt. And man, Johnny, he's going to roll his eyes at this one. And, the kids, they're so busy right now. And I barely finished community college. So who am I to do that? And also, like, I kind of have a big old nose, and, I'm scared. Like, what if it doesn't work? So for all of those reasons, no, heck no. I would be mad, crazy mad to go after that thing. And then they stop right there. It ends there. No second thought. No deeper questioning. That's it. And if they're thinking about it again, they said, oh yeah, the time. That's right. Oh, freaking Johnny. That dang Johnny. He always just rains on my parade. Oh, these kids. Right? And then they stop there. And that's it. And nothing changes. So what I realized, and I have to remind myself a lot of this too, is the excuses will always be there, no matter what. And if you want to lean on them, if you want to rely on them, they're valid. They're not wrong. A lot of them are not wrong. And they will, like, they'll hold you up, right? Like, you can totally lean on them to support you. So here's the thing. They're always going to be there, no matter what, no matter who you are, no matter what your background is, no matter, like, all the things. It doesn't matter. At all levels, you can always reach for an excuse. But something that I've noticed, and that I try and remind myself, is there's two ways to look at these excuses. There's two ways that you can kind of handle them. And I've noticed that the women that I look up to, the women that are doing the damn thing, that are freaking killing it, that are creating the businesses or living the dream, or, whatever it is that you look up to this person for, they look at these excuses in a very different way than, I would say, probably the average person. So the average person looks at an excuse and uses it as a crutch, right? They hear the excuse comes to their awareness, and they say, oh yeah, there's that problem that I have. So no. So we stop. So we wait. So we don't do it. So I bury it deep down under 17 glasses of wine a night. 17's excessive, but glasses of wine a night, cake, right? What, online shopping. I'm just going to bury that. They use it as a crutch. And then the other women who we look up to, they use it as a motivator. Right? So one woman could say, I don't have the time, so no. And another woman could say, I don't have the time, so I must. I don't have the time, and that's a problem for me because I have family and because I have goals. I want to travel. So I don't have the time. And that's even more of a reason why I need to do blank. I don't, one person, I don't have the money. So no, but I'll magically come up with the money when I need an iPhone. Isn't that amazing? I tell this to clients all the time, because a lot of my private clients, they sell, many of them are not, well, I'd say it's a mix of like other coaches and mentors and then, women in other industries, but they sell something. Usually, they usually have some sort of like higher tier offer. And they'll say, well, what if somebody can't afford it? And I say, every single time, it's none of your business what somebody can afford. Because let me tell you something, if somebody truly wants the thing and truly sees value in it, they will move heaven and earth to get that thing at some time, right? Maybe not in that moment right then, but at some point. And I have had women who have reached out to me to work with me, and they said, you know what, the money's not right, but I'm gonna make it work. And sure enough, 6 months later, a year later, they come back. They're like, I told you I would make it work. Right. So there are people that see that money and they say, no, I can't do it. And then there's other people who say, I don't have the money. And that's even more of a reason why I need this thing, or I need to make this thing happen. And I will figure it out. Debt, same thing, right? So like you can go through every single time: money, debt, family, education, or lack thereof, insecurity, belief, fear, all of those things. And I want you to think about that for yourself. Like take the time and try and think of like, okay, the last time there was something that you really wanted to do. Like really, because there are some things you pull out an excuse like it's nothing, whether it's true or not. And it's like, it might be true, but like deep down, you just don't want to do the thing. Deep down, like the person didn't do a good job, good enough job marketing it, or just whatever. It doesn't mean that much to you. And I think that it's important to discern that too. Maybe you really don't want this thing as bad as you want to. And that brings a lot of clarity, right? Because if you can say, hey, you know what? I would like to start a business, but it's not really a passion. So if you can kind of take the pressure off of it and not make that mean something wrong, because you're not busting your butt to start some business that you're not even that passionate about starting, that will bring you a lot of peace, right? And that was just a tangent that just threw me off. So like, I encourage you to go back, and the last excuse that you gave for something that you really actually want to do, what was the excuse that you used for that? What was the excuse? And then look at this, right? Are you using it as a crutch, or are you using it as a motivator? Is it something that is actually motivating you to whatever that means for you? Because at the end of the day, y'all, we are all incredibly powerful women. Every single person listening to this, no matter what it is that you want to create, it doesn't matter. Just because somebody wants to create something massive and giant and game-changing, life-changing, and you want to live a comfortable life with your family and get to travel, twice a year or somewhere in between, it doesn't make anybody more powerful or less. We're all incredibly, incredibly powerful creators of our life, of our existence, right? We're the writers. We are the co-creators of our life, right? We cannot control everything, but we sure as heck can co-create it. That gives us a lot of power. So that means that you are in charge when it comes to these moments, when it comes to writing your own story and forging your own path. When these excuses come up, you have that pivotal choice to make: crutch or motivator. And at the end of the day, not that one is right or wrong, because they're not, they're both neutral. But at the end of the day, a crutch is going to simply, more than likely, give you more of the same, right? If you keep using excuses as crutches, you're probably not going to change much, right? You're not going to do the thing. You're going to pretty much stay where you're at for the most part. So you're going to keep getting more of the same. And that might be okay with some people. That might be like, hey, I love my life. So I'm cool with that. And that's freaking amazing. Again, that clarity and that peace is like amazing. So good. But if you're thinking that, if you're like, okay, oh, I kind of have been using these as crutches and I don't want more of the same. I'm not vibing with this. The time, the money, what I'm doing, something, it's just, this is not working. So if that is where you're at, something has to change. You have to change your behavior to change your circumstance. So in that case, I encourage you to, instead of leaning on that excuse as a crutch, how can we shift it into something that motivates the ever-living heck out of you? How can you use it as like a chip on the shoulder, right? Something to prove or to prove wrong. But you cannot be dissatisfied with something in your life and not change it. Or at least wonder or be mad about that, right? Something has to change. And we all have different privileges. And I think that that is so fair to bring up. So many different privileges across the board. I'm insanely privileged to be where I am. I had some of my deck stacked in my favor, considering my race and just where I live, and some of the things that were handed to me that I was born into. 100%. And for some of you listening, that is also the case. But for other people that are listening who don't have those privileges, I encourage you to not let that be a crutch either. Because you can look around and there are people of all shapes, colors, sizes, backgrounds, freaking killing it. Now, I'm not saying that your journey is going to be as easy as mine. I'm not saying that at all. I'm 100%. And I am not discounting the work that you might have to, that some of you might have to put, that more work into than maybe what I had or what somebody has to do. But all I'm asking is that you don't let that hold you back. That you don't say, well, I come from this background, or I don't have a college education, or my parents were like this, or I look like that, or I'm whatever, and let that stop you. Because you can go, and if you just look, you can find so many examples of people that are just like you, or who came from worse situations or whatever, and use that as motivators and are thriving. So we can use excuses as crutches, or we can use them as motivators. If you use them as crutches, you're going to get more of the same. And guess what? If you use them as motivators, we're making money. Okay? So that's why I titled this Make Money, Not Excuses. Because when you're motivated by the things that used to hold you back, you are going to see change. You are going to make different decisions. You are going to show up differently. You are going to actually move forward versus staying stagnant or even going backward. And usually when people do that, things start popping off. Okay. So every dollar I've made in my business, every dollar that I will make in my business is because I've gotten really good at doing this myself. And other people who are also killing the game, same thing. It's very hard to be successful and to make really good money, the level of money that you desire, if you have a bad habit of using your excuses as crutches versus motivators. So, some things to think about. some things to think about. And I have to think about this too, because I do this too. Trust me. So I just want to leave you with this. The next time you're facing something where you know like something needs to change, an up level is ready to happen, you're ready for it deep down, you really want it, and all of a sudden it dredges up all those excuses, which are you going to choose? Crutch or motivator? I love you. I hope this was helpful for you. I am cheering you on. I believe in you wholeheartedly. You're a boss. And if this was helpful, I would love to know. Tag me in your stories. Would love a 5-star review on iTunes. DM me. I hope you have a fabulous day. I'll see you here next week. Bye.